What is up, guys, gals, and non-binary pals? Happy New Year's Eve. It is live Tuesday. It's technically tutorial Tuesday because it's the last Tuesday of the month. Hello to those people who are already in the chat. Hello to Daisies and Decaf and Sean Paints Sparkly Stuff. How are you guys doing? I'll go over my tools real quick while everybody's starting to in and hang out and whatnot. I've got a few pens here. The one that I'm going to be using for right now, though, is going to be this beauty from Bistro Exclusives or Bistro Blanks. This is the Mizuchira pen that they created for me. It's a lava pen. Look at it, lava-ing. It's doing its lava thing. They made this pen custom for me, and it is absolutely gorgeous. I love this thing. Love it so much. Hello to Ducky. And then I've got a pen here from Flowa Designs. It's preloaded, bouncy stuff. It's preloaded with all of the ghost in this end. So I keep that nearby. And then I've got my pen holder here from Zodiac Shadows. It's the Mary Morales pen holder for 2024 and 25. I'll put that off to the side. I got my ultimate pen here, but just because I wanted to show it off because it's beautiful. This one was made by Diamond Pen Pal, and it is an example of the pen that will be won by the ultimate prize winner for Mary Morales. If you're not a part of Mary Morales, I hope that you get up in there. Diamonds around the world. Hello. Can't stay long. Just want to pop in and say hi. Well, hi. And hi, Wicked Kitty Princess Amy. How are you doing? Happy New Year's Eve, everybody. I have a tray here. This is from Cosmic Crafts. This is also a Mary Morales event tray. It says "'Tis the season to sparkle" with this adorable dragon on it. Mary Morales 2024. It's adorable. I'm gonna take that off though, because I'm gonna need the actual tray. And then I've got, for my single placer, I always use Ghost from Diamond Painting Daily. That's the symbol that you're looking for on Etsy. For my single placer, it's basically like making a glue dot. It's amazing. Hello, Wallflower. I've got the Satura scented putty. It's patchouli and lavender from Joy's Putty. Go and check that out. Tested and approved for ABs. And then I have a trinket tray here from Craftspirations. This is the Mary Morales trinket tray that I designed for Beautiful from Nati over at Craftspirations. I think they might be sold out right now. So if you were looking for one, you might need to email Nati about that. I'm not sure what's going on. I just happened to see they were sold out. And then for release papers, I have release papers from Loena's Designs. They're the event papers that I designed. Love them. That's Kaiju. And there's Yuki hanging out, doing their things. And then my little buddy here, my dragon buddy that's going to hang out with me, this is Chroma. We decided to name it Chroma because it looks like a rainbow. Look at that. It's got all the colors. There it is. And he's going to, he, she, it, they are going to sit here and watch me diamond paint. How is everybody doing? It's New Year's Eve. Do you guys have any like big plans? You got anything going on? I'm going to my in-laws' house, which is what I do every year. It is the same basic routine year in and year out that we go over, we hang out, and usually play card games or something. Hi, Fierce Faye. Welcome. I want to ask if you had heard about diamonds around the world. I did hear about Lazy River Crafts. I actually reached out to a few of the artists on behalf of Captured by Radiance to see if they might be interested in moving over. For those who had not heard, Lazy River Crafts has decided to close her store, which is probably a good thing, just based on what's going on with some of the people who had purchased. And I do wish Stephanie all the best. I hope that whatever happens in life, that it works out for her. But yeah, I did hear. I did indeed. But yeah, do you guys have any like specific plans? Can you? I'm live, just so you know. Do you guys have any specific plans for New Year's Eve? I'm going to be ending just a little bit early because I'm heading over to my in-laws. We usually play card games. So this time, I guess we're going to maybe try and play, I don't know, some poker or something to start with. And then after that, we'll probably play Cards Against Humanity like we always do. What's up, Destiny? Um, because that's just the usual thing to do is to play Cards Against Humanity. Uh, I will probably bring my Switch over there because I will probably try to play some, uh, maybe some like Hogwarts Legacy or something like that before we do um, the card playing for like either poker or Cards Against Humanity, just because, we go over there like 6 hours before the bell or the bell drop, the ball drops. That's what I was trying to say. So, I'm gonna need something to do in the meantime, right? But that's sort of like our tradition for New Year's. That's what we usually do. Hi, Vera Lynn and Marie. Hi, hello. But yeah, I did hear. And fortunate. I'm not sure, you know, like I said, what's coming up next for Stephanie, but I hope that whatever it is that, she does well in this life. Whatever it happens to be. Oh. But yeah, what do you guys have anything planned? I know some people were talking about staying in, doing some diamond painting. I have to admit I'm a little bit jealous. Only because like I don't know, I'm getting a little used to being home, being quiet, what have oh, I forgot to okay. So the painting that I am working on, for those who don't know, most of you do, is for Mary Morales. I am working on Down the Rabbit Hole, and I am right over here on the bunny's head. I'm about the halfway point now, right around the halfway point, which is a lot less far than I would normally be, but I am literally forcing myself to slow down and not work on this piece unless I'm like working on like a live or a whip and chat or content. I'm really trying not to chew this one up before the end of January. I want to have something to work on from Morales throughout the event. So my plan is to set it up that I finish this during the last live stream, which would be that Saturday. What's the date on that? Hitting this one up now. Ooh, it's a good one, Marie. It's a really good one. Let's see. So that Saturday would be the 25th. Well, there's a Saturday on the 1st as well. So I think it would make the most sense for me to do that last live on that last Saturday to draw the winner, because that'll give us enough time to go through and make sure that the people who were doing the things and finishing their canvases, that they did all the things, right? Don't you think, Sarah? I haven't seen Jamie pop in to the live yet, but I would think that that's enough time. And then on the 1st, we can announce that winner. So then I guess technically it would be February the 1st. And I would save that last bit for that live. Even though most of that last square I would have finished, because during that live, I'm not going to have the time to actually like do a whole square. So I would finish like the last few diamonds on that particular live on the 1st. Happy New Year from South Africa. Hi, Irene. Happy New Year to you. So here's a good question. If nobody has like Q&A tutorial, y'all are pretty versed in the world of diamond painting. So here's my question for you. Do you make New Year's resolutions or do you uh skip that and you're just like, nah, forget it because I know I'm not going to uphold any of them? I am trying to think like in years past, I don't really do resolutions mostly because I don't want to fail at my own like thing. I probably did like long ago, tried to set some, New Year's resolutions, but gave up on them rather quickly as I failed or whatever the year before. I feel like I probably tried to do that when I was younger and then just went, probably just shouldn't even try. I do like to, um, like not just on Thanksgiving, but also on New Year's, kind of talk about the things that I'm grateful for the year. And I do have to say that like last year for New Year's, I it was not even like a twinkle in my eye to do a YouTube for the year 2024. Like that was not in the plans. Um I had just left my job in November of 2023 and I didn't really know what was next for me, you know? And so um I didn't I didn't really know like what to do with myself. I didn't know where I was going next. I was looking pretty I think at that point I wasn't yet looking for any jobs. I wasn't trying to find anything. I really needed to take a good solid couple of months just to myself to kind of make plans, figure out what the heck because that job had me working damn near to heart attack or stroke. So, I didn't have any specific plans around a job or whatever. I definitely did not have a plan around a YouTube. Um, that was not something that I thought I would be doing. I had no friends, zero. Like Dustin, he's my friend. I suppose he counts. But as far as like people that I hung out with or whatever, no, not really. People that I kept in contact with, but wasn't like hanging out with or anything like that. Not really. Um, so I just didn't didn't know what was going to happen for the year. And I have to say, and I said this earlier, like I am so incredibly grateful for all of you guys because, well, one, because you're amazing people and just kind and giving and um just you mean so much to me. I did not expect to have friends. I did not expect, especially to have friends like YouTube or a Discord or whatever. I did not expect this. So, really, like from the bottom of my heart, this year, when I go over the things that I'm grateful for the year 2024, really, truly, seriously, and honestly, I am very, very grateful for all of you guys because I did not see any of you coming this year at all. At all. Would not have planned that. Would not have planned that at all. So thank you to you guys. Hi, Allison. I am doing well. Hi, Cal. Welcome from Florida, Florida. Destiny says, I never make resolutions. If you want to make a change, do it at any time of the year. Don't procrastinate making an improvement. You know, I say the same thing about Valentine's Day. Like, Dustin and I do not celebrate Valentine's Day. I don't expect flowers or candy or any like ridiculous acts of love or whatever. It's like, if you can't tell me the rest of the year that you love me, then what are we doing here? What actually are we doing? So I agree. And honestly, I feel like there's this weird like energy or whatever put around the idea of making a resolution, because then you're putting all this weight on keeping it, and then when you don't keep it, you feel like you failed. Most people don't even make it a matter of uh, a couple months with their resolutions before they've completely given up on them. And it's like, nah, a pass, hard pass. I do not. I know my consistency and it's sketchy as heckadoodle. Yes. So happy I found your channel. Thank you, Faye. I'm happy you found my channel too. Only here for a minute. I'm on break. Oh, well, that's all right, Victoria. Welcome. Us too. I and my partner do loving things all year round. I hate the pressure and energy of it. Yeah, yeah. And I mean, yeah, there's people who do not have a person to celebrate Valentine's Day with, and they're like, yeah, well, F all of you. I get that too. I do. Um, I think I spent so many years, like, especially when I was a teenager, whatever, alone on Valentine's Day, that I became just hateful of the holiday as it was. So I just sort of vowed right then and there, like, if I ever get the opportunity, I'm not gonna be one of those gross people who's got to like, yeah, my boyfriend got me 16 dozen roses and boxes of chocolates and crap I don't need. Nah, no. You don't gotta rub it in my face how wonderful, like, oh, say it with diamonds. Don't say it with diamonds. I don't like diamonds anyways, so don't say it with diamonds. How about say it the rest of the year? That'd be great. You know what? Say it with the dishes. Go do my dishes. Go do my laundry. Don't get me chocolate or diamonds or, whatever. Sure, a car would be nice, but, diamond paintings. I'll always accept diamond paintings, but you don't have to do it on Valentine's Day. Just do it literally anytime. Um, but as far as like resolutions are concerned, what have you, I feel like I I really make those kind of weak, kind of, in my whipping chats, really. Celebrating with family at my house. Oh, sweet. Okay. Wow, what a huge pen. Cal, you are not wrong. This is the fattest of pens. This is from Bistro Exclusives. I told him I wanted a chunky pen. And this is my pen from Diamond Pen Pal, also a fat pen, because if you compare it to like the stylus that you get with the kits, like the old stylus, look at this sucker. It's a huge. It's huge in comparison. Yeah, the good diamonds. The good diamonds are the ones that come in diamond paintings. I'll take those. I will definitely take those. Um, I like a fat pen, Cal. What can I say? I do. I do indeed. I have carpal tunnel, and so I tend to like a chunkier pen. Now, usually not this chunky. This is actually real chunky compared to like this is what I would normally go for, would be like this size, which is also still pretty fat. But you can see like this is a fat pen, but it's still better than this one, the ultimate Margaret Morales pen. Gorgeous. It has Logitoy. But yeah, this would be like a fat pen, and then before that, the one I was using all the time. This one was from Wallflower, right? This one, and this is also like I feel it now, and it's like, man, this one's so small. How did I use this without my hand cramping? Because now I'm using all these chunky ones, real super chunky ones. Like the Satura pen, also very, very fat pen. But I do like a fat pen. Hi, Carrie Lynn. And Jamie, hello, hello. The pen matches my nails. Yes, it does. It does indeed. That was on purpose, actually, when I did Mizuchira. Because Mizuchira matched my nails. I need to get them done really bad. Look how grown out they are. That's terrible. but I'm poor, so there is that. Can't do much when you're poor. Nah, really, I have the money set aside to get my nails done, but I have to like go do it. And it's been the holidays. Hi, Crystal. Holidays, so I haven't gone anywhere to do really anything because most places are closed anyway. I'm gonna switch. I'm gonna switch to whoop my ultimate pen only because I forgot to load that one with Ghost. Got to load it up. But yeah, so okay. So most people like me are not resolution makers. All right. Now, what, if any, are your favorite resolutions that you have either successfully been able to do, or what one did you tank that like you thought was hilarious? I think at one point it probably resolved to do something like quit smoking or whatever, and then it wasn't even New Year's when that ended up happening. Um, and I probably at one point resolved to like never talk to a certain person or whatever, and then probably backed out of that really quickly. I don't know. Not sure. But it is really fun as a tradition goes for New Year's Eve to go and play, excuse me, Cards Against Humanity with my in-laws. Um, I remember one year my my father-in-law was reading one of the cards, and I don't know if you're familiar with Cards Against Humanity, but one of the cards, like, okay, so it's like the game Apples to Apples, right? So the point is that you have black cards which have like questions on them or prompts, and then you have cards in your hand that you're supposed to play. So let's say the card is now Cards Against Humanity is meant to be kind of dirty and filthy and wrong. Okay, keep that in mind. um you really can't be a PC person and play that game. Like, that's why it's called Cards Against Humanity. um but let's say, you know, it's like a question that says, "What's that smell?" And then in your head, you have something like uh, the tears of Eskimo children or something. For instance, right? That's not a card. I don't think that's a card. It could be a card, actually, now that I think about it, but it isn't. Um, so then you would play your answer, and then the person who read the question, which is, that person, it would be their turn. Everybody puts in an answer to it, trying to get, the funniest answer, or the answer that the question asker likes the most. Like, my mother-in-law always plays it really like straight, where if the card that you have kind of answers the question the most logically, it seems like that's the way she always gives points. And the point of the game isn't necessarily to give the answers that you think are the funniest. You've got to play the person who's asking the question. So you just got to know the person that's asking the question and kind of go off of what you think they will think is funny or appropriate or whatever. And my father-in-law, one year, one of the cards is uh, "What's harshing my mellow man?" And that's what that'll be Dustin. 1 second, Bean might bark for a second. Yep, that's Dustin. Um, but yeah, one of the cards says, "What's harshing my mellow, comma, man?" But my father-in-law couldn't read it for some reason. Like, he read it, but he read it with the wrong inflection on the wrong thing. So he's like, "What's harshing my mellow, man? Wait, what's harshing my mellow, man?" And I was like, "No, wrong." He goes, "What's harshing my mellow, man?" And I was like, "No, wrong." He keeps reading it over and over with inflection on a different like thing. I'm like, "No, this is all no, no, like, what's harshing my mellow, man?" he kept reading it over and over. And the more he read it wrong, the more hilarious it was to the rest of us. He couldn't figure out why we're laughing because he's like, I don't know what's funny. I'm like, the way you're reading it is wrong. So we're dying. I think we laughed more at the way he was asking the question than the actual answers to the question. Because he's like, what's harshing my mellow man? No, no. Oh, it was great. Can you just take him out to go pee pee real quick? Just real quick pee pee. See, do it. Hold 1 second. All right. Sorry about that. Um, any hoozles. Yeah, it was a great time. It was a really great time. And so we've made it a tradition basically every year to play. And like I said, I guess this year we're gonna do like poker first or something. We used to do that back in the day. We'd take over, pocketfuls of change or whatever and play some friendly poker. But I'm not good at poker. I don't play poker. It's not a game that I normally play, so I'm gonna suck, but it is what it is. That's what his parents wanted to do this time. No, I would assume we're also gonna play cards. I mean, that's it's tradition. Otherwise, if we don't, you guys can always take the cards and go play them. Yeah, my son always brings friends over. Wi- Well, a friend. Sometimes it's been more than one. Well, you used to bring Jade. True. But yeah, you guys could always take the game if you wanted to and play it if we don't, but I'm sure we will. They even have an online version now. Yes, they do. I agree. I think the online version kind of sucks, but that being said, if you find good players, problem is I think everybody who wants to play online is probably like 9 or 10 years old, doesn't really understand the game. We also determine each time, like depending on how many players, sometimes we'll play a rando, which rando is where you just basically take a card out of a pile and put it in as a response. But usually when we do that, rando wins for whatever reason, probably because it doesn't have any rhyme or reason, and that can be even more funny when you're not overthinking it. Sort of like improv that way. So when I worked at the Renaissance Fair and I ran our improv group before we had like classes that we would do. And one of the classes that I taught was improv. And the point of improv is to do the first thing that comes like off the top of your head. And usually people that overthink it and they like think about what's funny, it's never funny when you're overthinking your answers, especially in Cards Against Humanity, sometimes like even the worst card in your hand that you think is dumb, if you just throw it in as like whatever, sometimes that's the funniest answer because it's the most random and a person will pick it just simply because it was off the cuff or, you know, silly, stupid, whatever the heck. Because the harder you think about trying to be funny, the less funny a person is, almost always. Almost always. But if you haven't played it before, I highly recommend it. Highly recommend it. It's a good time. But you just kind of have to not, get easily offended by things, or you probably won't enjoy it because it is meant to be offensive in every possible way. There are some cards in the game, like some specific cards, where if it comes up, Um, in fact, most of those we've removed from the like regular cards. We just took it out because there are some things that to me I don't really care. Um, I'm not easily like offended by things, but there are some things. Oh boy, now you're really looking for shame. What? Shame? Is it sugar shaming time? Early. But we'll shame you. Come on. Come on, sugar. You looking to get shamed all because Beans decided to bark upstairs? Look at it. All right, hold on. I got to put down a release paper so you don't put your ear on my canvas here. Here we go. Ready? Sugar shame time. Sugar shame time. It's sugar shame time. Sugar shame time. She is for her New Year's Eve sugar shaming. You forget that Beans was upstairs? Did you forget he was upstairs? There you go. You get a New Year's Eve sugar shame. This is Sugar. Working on chroma. This is Sugar. Sugar is my chihuahua. She likes to bark at things. And she's cute. But I know it's early. It's early. Look at her shivering like I've shivering. She's shivering like I've done something bad to her. Aren't you used to this yet? She's like, what's happening? Why is this happening to me? Sugar, don't look away. Don't look away. Say hello. She's trying to figure out why she's hearing Beans upstairs. Don't bark, Sugar. Don't do it. Nope. Nopey nope. Oh my gosh. Ending the year strong and wrong, Sugar. Yep, that's right. That's right. Miss Ma'am. Yep. As soon as I put her back down, she's probably gonna start again. Yeah, lick your face, lick your lips. Yep, lick your lips. There you go. Lick your lips. There you go. There. Now you be quiet. Now you be quiet. No more barking, okay? Here, you can sit behind me. There you go. You can sit behind me. Anyways, I don't even know what the hell I was talking about anymore. She got all freaking me out. No, no, shush. Be quiet back there. No, you be quiet back there. No, you be quiet. No, you be quiet. Don't you start. No. Don't you start back there. Nuh-uh. Miss Ma'am. You gotta be quiet. Looking for her trouble. I know. You have two of them, Cal. Whew. I don't know if I could do two. I think one Chihuahua is enough for anybody, honestly. I do. She's a very, very sweet girl, but man, I could not imagine having two of her running around. Now, granted, I'd never had a Chihuahua before her, so I didn't really know what to expect. Can I ask a question? Generally, maybe someone will know the answer to this. Why is it that ecru is its own color and it's not just like a DMC? Why does it get its own special being X instead of being a number, like a DMC number? That doesn't make sense to me. Does anybody know the answer to that? Because there are colors that come close, like eggshell, right? It's kind of what ecru is like an eggshell color. But why is it its own thing? I feel like Sarah would know the answer to this question. But Sarah knows everything, at least a little bit of everything. I feel like I should look that up or should know that for some reason. I do not know it, but I feel like I should. Come on. Diamond does not want to come off there. Two bonded sisters. Oh, it wasn't a dye, it's a natural color. So, like, this would be the color of the diamonds before they put, well, but that's not right because resin isn't naturally this color. So, I would imagine they have to put some sort of dye in there to make ecru a color. Your brother has two. Woof. She doesn't. She knew it once upon a time, just never had one in the DMC. Okay. Yeah, it just seems like, I mean, I get it, like that ecru is a natural type color, but it's not like resin isn't naturally this color, so nor is I well, okay, so I suppose some threads could be, and since the DMC comes from thread colors, maybe it's like the color of undyed whatever whatever embroidery floss is made out of an undyed fabric. I have no idea. I'm making crap up now. That's what I do. If I don't know the answer, I'm gonna make it up. Not really, but universal for the crafts that use it. Yeah, I don't know. I think ecru is the color of the thread before dyeing, and that's DM color scheme. Right, right. Hmm. So maybe I've stumbled across the correct answer just guessing. I don't, yeah, because I mean, I suppose, yes, wool, but I mean, the thread that they use is embroidery floss. That's not wool, though. I hate it when the bottom of the drill is just slightly rounded, like convex, not concave. Look at us. It's tutorial day and we're learning something. Somebody could also use the Google machine. I cannot use the Google machine right now. Quick, to the Google machine. Someone. I don't know. You feel like Googling something? Sure. Why is ecru a standalone color in the DMC? ECRU. And then DMC is the letters D, M, and C. For AI, it's because it falls within a nuanced shade of off-white with a slight yellowish undertone. Okay, interesting. And tone continues to create colors too. LOL at AI answers. It's the light beige color of unbleached linen. Yeah, I'm guessing it must match with whatever that unbleached linen color is. Because, like I said, I mean, the embroidery floss is a specific like material. It's not wool, but maybe because it matches whatever that color is. Yes, I hear you. Go, sugar, go. Can one of you guys assist with letting the dogs out, please? And then what time are you getting up from your nap? Well, I'm just curious because um I was going to end my live a little bit early, but if you're going to be sleeping, then because your mom said 6 o'clock. It makes sense at K9 Mama because it's cross stitch derivative. Yeah, I don't know. I'm guessing ecru doesn't perfectly match any single DMC thread color. Hmm. And I mean, you know, if they were creating new colors or whatever, then they could just assign ecru its own number. Whatever number they wanted to assign it. Whoop, dang it. I hate when that happens. When you're trying to tighten things up and it pops your diamonds off and just sends them flying. Only this time it wasn't flying at my eyeball. So that's good. Just trying to move them around a little bit because my line was not straight. not straight. So I don't know. It's a thought because it bugs me that it's the only one that has like um no specific assigned number. Because then like, when you're doing your specials or what, well, now that they've moved all the specials, including AB, to the back end, um, Ecru always ends up at the back end with the specials. You know what I'm talking about? And so when I'm kitting up or whatever, I mean, that's fine because it's back there with the 6,000s with like referring to DAX, but comes from the French word meaning raw or unbleached. Okay. Is that Pantone? What's Pantone? Do tell. Do tell. I'm assuming Pantone is like a DMC color chart, but for something else. There we go.
I was planning on getting around 6.
Around 6? Okay. Well, then I'll end like 15 early or something. That works. All right. Enjoy your nap. Justin's going to nap before we go over. You got to work tomorrow? Oh, that's good. Probably so he can last through the festivities, because otherwise I don't think he will. Be passing out before the ball drops. He's an old man now. Actually, paint. Used for printing. The DMC was for thread. Got it. Interesting. I mean, I guess it's good that, especially if people are doing conversions, that match the DMC color chart, but it would be, it would be better almost. Beans, what are you doing? Don't rub your butt on the floor, weirdo dog. No, buddy. Can't come over here and whine at me. Did dad not take you out long enough? My live doesn't end for a little while, so I can't take you out. I'm sorry. I'll give you. Only got one left though. Only got one bully stick left, buddy boy. As long as this will keep you tided over until my live is done, and then I will take you wherever you want to go. Okay? Go be busy. Not a beef pizzle this time, which I found out what beef pizzle means. That's fun. Same colors exist, and like Ecru and Pantone is coded 110809. The 2025 color of the year is Mocha Mousse. Ooh, that's fancy. Who decides what the color of the year is? How does that get voted on? Nobody asked me. Though I do really like that name. Pretty spectaculars. But nobody asked my permission to make it Mocha Mousse. There we go. There's a good question. Does anybody have any plans for a cross stitch conversion in 2025? As far as like diamond painting plans go, I would like to try a cross stitch conversion. I've seen some really fantastical ones out there. I purchased a cross stitch pattern, surprise, surprise, for a Morales. I'd already purchased one so that I'd have it ready when we decided to do one. But we had also talked about doing like a cross stitch conversion for Medusa Doll Maker. Also have plans for those who are not part of the Discord and are thinking about joining the Discord. We also have some plans on doing a mystery that is specific to our Discord from Jada Gem Shop, sort of like what she does for Sophie's Discord. And if we have enough people to participate, then she would do a special House of Miscellanea Discord mystery as well. So I know we have plans to do that. And then as far as like a cross stitch conversion, we had talked about doing, just whatever. A really rounded one. But I purchased a pattern for a Morales cross stitch conversion because I've never done a cross stitch conversion before, so it would be a new experience for me. Benjamin Moore. Yeah, okay, okay. My opinion, Pantone is more universal versus DMC specific to fiber art and now diamond painting. Yeah. Dax 6000 colors exist in Pantone, most likely, but they don't on DMC. I have to start really early. Yeah, same. Wallflower. I feel like I had a really hard time with cross stitch, and part of the reason that I did was because, I'd get going, I'd be doing fine, whatever, and then I would end up skipping a square or like doing a square twice. Somehow I'd screw it up. And then I would have to tear the whole thing apart because it was off by one and noticeably off by one. And so I would have to really take my time and almost go like a 10 square at a time. And that to me sounds not great, you know? That and they would be by nature probably pretty confetti heavy if they're a cross stitch conversion. So it's like, six of one, half a dozen of the other on how that would be fun and enjoyable or not. So it's like, I really want to try one, but I also don't want to fail and then hate it because I've already done cross stitch before and failed at it. I mean, granted, I have some pieces from cross stitch that I did successfully, but I threw away way more than I was successful at. That's for sure. So it would have to be something that I knew for sure, for sure. Oh yeah, sure, Champion Leon. Give me just 1 second. And welcome. I usually only see you on Twitch. Yes, give me 1 second and I'll show you. This one, Champion Leon, is Down the Rabbit Hole by Marlis. And I am like right on the bunny's head right now. But I've got all the stuff down here done. She's a cutie cutie. And that is what I am working on. Run out of drills, it's harder to keep going and pick back up. That's it too. Like if you don't like get your counts right or whatever, then you're kind of stuck. And then what do you do once you screwed it up? Oh, then you gotta order more or wait. And then like getting your supplies. I've seen people who have done cross stitch conversions. It's like 3 times the price of a diamond art club, to do a cross stitch conversion. So it's like, on the one hand, I don't want to spend all my money on something I'm absolutely going to hate doing, but on the other hand, I want it, That being said, I don't think I'm going to end up feeling like I'm not one of the cool kids if I don't end up doing a cross stitch conversion, but it was definitely an idea that we were kicking around doing. I feel like, you're one of the big kids if you do a cross stitch conversion versus if you don't. But that's probably all in my head, honestly. But I did want to try it at least once. See if I could succeed at it. But I've seen people who have spent like $300 just on supplies for a cross stitch conversion. It's like, man, I don't got that kind of money. Not to spend on one singular diamond painting. So maybe if I did a little bit over time, I don't know. I don't know. Deans and Bowie, I think, are chewing each other's faces or something. I don't know what they're doing over there. It sounds like fun, I guess. But yeah, like that's something that for the year 2025 that I would wow. Sugar, no, beans, leave her alone, please. Go get your where's your beef chew? Your bully stick. Go get it. Go get it. Where's your bully stick? Did Bowie take it? No, it's right here. Here. Take that. Chew on that. Goofy dog. Quit bothering Sugar. He's gonna grab it and you're gonna get mad. He's gonna grab it and you're gonna get mad. Goofy dogs. He is too. He's gonna get all jealous when she grabs it and takes it up on the couch. Pantone was for standardizing printing colors. Before that, just telling a company to print an ad with a red and blue could mean anything. But if you say Pantone 185 and 280, that meant shades. Hi, Amber. Welcome. Very new. But yeah, so I don't know. It's one of those. I'd like to try it. I also enjoyed Katie had done a what you call it, a temperature project that she had gotten as an idea of somebody else. And I thought a temperature project would be really cool. Reason I say that is because I don't live in a place like California where, you know, your weather ranges from 60 degrees to 100 and that's it. That's where you go. I live in Wisconsin where we get negative 15 all the way up to 105 or whatever. And so I feel like that kind of a project could look really cool. Temperature project could look really cool based on the fact that we've just got so much variety in our weather as it is, like in our temperatures as it is, not weather. Not based on weather, Naomi, dur. So I thought like doing a temperature project could be really cool, just figuring out, you know, what to do and how to do it. So maybe later, I don't know, I'll put something to the Discord and say, "Hey, y'all want to work on a temperature project together?" And because I mean, you know, obviously you could lay one diamond every day or you could just wait and lay diamonds at the end of the month or whatever. 30 spot, whatever. It was something I thought about. Could be really cool would be to do a temperature project if people were into that sort of thing. You should show us one of your favorite putty shops you're using. Crystal. Yes, I can actually. I can show you my top 5. And the beauty of that is that most of them, if not all of them, are sponsors. So Joy's Putty has quickly become one of my favorites. One moment. Let me grab them. I'm looking in the wrong place. Here we go. Okay, there's that one. This one. Looking for one from my other. Oh, do I not have it? Aha. Yes, I do. Okay. So there's those. And then Where's the other one? Okay. One of them is really newer, like a newer company. And so I only have samples from this company, but I told him that I would try it out, and I've actually really enjoyed it. This one is from Diamond Art Emporium, and he sent me some sample sized ones. Um, he's got one called Butch, which smells like blue sage. He's got one called Bakery, which smells like vanilla shortbread, and then watermelon for fruit. And then there was one more. It was a floral scent, but I don't do floral scents. Diamond Art Emporium is one of the ones, and I'm not sure if his shop is up right now, but that's one. Another one is this one is from Joy's Putty, and Joy's Putty you can find on Facebook. She only sells on Facebook, so if you're looking for her, that's where you'll find her. And she does a really now keep in mind, Crystal, I am a hard placer, okay? So I tend to like a dry putty. And yes, Destiny, I agree. I use a dry putty because that's just what works best for me as a hard placer. So keep that in mind. If you're a really light placer, I can give you some different suggestions for people who've told me that these work really well for them as a light placer, but I'm a hard placer. So Joy's Putty, Patsy Putty is another one that I recommend to people. Works really well for me as a hard placer. Putty Crockers Boutique and More is also on Facebook. This one is pumpkin patchouli, which sounds like it would taste. It sounds like it would smell awful, but it actually smells amazing. I love Putty Crockers. And then Butterfly Effect Wears is this one I am told works for just about everybody that I've asked to try it. Butterfly Effect Wears is probably my favorite. I save these because these are my bestest putties. I love Butterfly Effect Wears, and I've only ever heard good things. Now, if you're a really light placer, a couple of places that I highly recommend that you try would be Randa's Crafty Corner is one. And then let's see. Pure Bliss Wax. Pure Bliss Wax is another one that works really well for light placers. It's a stickier putty. I feel like stickier putties work really, really well for people who do light placing, but if you're a hard placer, not so much. Creations Moran is another one that I would recommend to people who are light placers because it's a stickier putty. Lastly, and this works for everybody, no matter if you're a hard or a soft placer, Ghost from Diamond Painting Daily. It is a little bottle. This is the symbol that you're looking for. She's on Etsy. Diamond Painting Daily. It's like a glue dot that it starts out as a liquid. So like this is liquid in here. Well, liquid-ish. It's a liquid type of glue. It starts out liquid and then dries, whatever that was that just fell down, dries solid. It dries solid and becomes like a glue dot. This works for anybody, literally anybody. Or at Diamond Painting Daily, the other thing that she has, it's called a monster or a mini monster. She has two versions. This is a monster. It looks like a protractor. You put double-sided tape on it, and then you actually like use it and roll it. You can kind of control the monster-sized one. The mini monster is littler. It's like the inside of this right here. The double-sided adhesive that she sends on this, And then again, you can sort of rock your diamonds on. But I would try Ghost if nothing else. What kind of putty would be good for hot and humid? I would go with a putty that starts out dry. Um, so goth is my understanding with the goth is just basically that it's a putty for like when you're working on a dark canvas. Her putty at Diamond Painting Daily, it's a stickier putty. Her putty is really sticky. Where did I put? Hold on a second. I'm looking for my little butterfly box that I had. Hold on. It fell down behind my desk. You have Ghost in your cart now. Pure Bliss Wax is on your list. You're very welcome. So over at Diamond Painting Daily, whether it's goth or whether it's whatever, her putty is very, very, very sticky. I've noticed it tends to look oilier on the top. You can usually tell. See how there's like kind of oil on that? This is not scented. It's not a scented one, but it is very, very sticky. Like it's a sticky putty. And you see how it's stickier? Like it's a stickier putty. If you're in a hot and humid climate, I would start with a putty that's going to be dry to begin with, because otherwise you're going to end up with a mess. Especially because on top of those diamonds, if the putty starts sticking, it's literally going to leave a residue on top. That's why if you're in a hot and humid climate, I would go with a glue dot. Or there's also this place, it's called Oh Snap Dots. These are glue dots, like they're scented glue dots, where you can actually put a glue dot into your single or multi placer, and then it doesn't matter what your temperature is. Lastly, if you're feeling adventurous, you can get yourself some of this museum putty from Amazon, and you can mix it with either a mica powder or old eyeshadow if you have it, to dry it out a little bit, because this is a very sticky, like this museum putty is really sticky stuff, like really sticky stuff. Hush, hush. Oh, great. All right. Sorry about that. Sugar, no, I will shame you. You re-shamed twice in one day. Yes, and as Jamie said, if it's humid, it might be a good idea to put it in the fridge. But yeah. So this is really, really sticky stuff, this museum putty. Okay. So you would want to have something like this where either A, you would mix cornstarch with it to dry it out, or mica powder or something. But if you're a light placer, this museum putty might work for you just like it is. Wow, sugar. Yeah, I hear that she yipped. I don't know what she's freaking out about. Oh, maybe she saw the mouse in the cupboard. We have this one mouse that's just it's outsmarted my traps. And there are a few companies I had to store in the fridge because they were too sticky to use. It helps some. I replace it much sooner than I normally would have. Yeah. Diamonds around the world. Are you still molding and churning pens? So diamonds around the world. Yes, I am. However, what beans? Do not, sir. Stop. Here. Get your thingy. I am. However, while Mary Morales is going on, I have a few people that are waiting on some pens. I had to get a propane tank so that I could warm the garage where I work at. There's a few people that are waiting for their pens. So until I've got those turned and sent out, I won't be taking any orders for any just yet. But probably past, I would say February, Marchish, when it starts to turn warmer here in Wisconsin, I can start taking orders again because the resin I have to pour out in the garage and then bring it into the house after it's like tacky. So it's not like spilling, but it has to be in a warm enough place where the epoxy can set up. It's just temperature stuff is a problem. I wish shipping for Ghost wasn't double the price of Ghost. Yeah, that's very true. Okay, I agree. I agree. Um, that's why I would pick up like 2 bottles just so you have it. I mean, granted, it's gonna last you forever, forever and ever. But yes, so I'm not doing anything right this moment for pens, but I will be once the weather starts to turn for the warmer. Just because I otherwise I have to. I use a propane tank in the garage over at my in-laws' house, and I have to get it up to temperature in the to start with, like just to work, and that sucks up about a quarter of the tank right there just to get it warm in the garage, like warm enough to work. And then, propane, it's like, I don't know, for one of the big ass cans that I use, it's like $35 a can. And so, yeah, it's kind of a pain in the booty. But if you are interested in like at least putting together some sort of like a, hey, I'm interested or whatever, you can either message me on Discord or send me an email. Um, because I will be in the garage, I would say in the next couple of weeks because yeah, I have, like I said, some pens that I need to turn belonging to people. So I'll be turning pens, but I won't be pouring and pouring any resin or anything because it's simply just too cold right now to do that safely. And I don't have anywhere in their house that I can put it where I don't I wouldn't be nervous that it would get, you know, accidentally bumped or whatever while it's setting up. Yeah, man, Canada's rough. I'm glad Canada's able to get packages in and out though. That's good. It sucks that you know, with that happening right before Christmas and whatnot. That's a bummer. Um, that said, I'm trying to think of all the putty companies that are in Canada. I know Creations Moran is in Canada. Um, who else? What other putty companies? I mean, I know tray companies like Yellow Dog Designs, um, Lowena's Designs for the release papers. Bees Crafty Corners is actually in Canada too. Where else? Where else? Where else? Are there other putty places? Diamonds around the world. I am, as far as I know, the only person who uses gems or crystals and herbs in them. That is my own like actual idea for the inspiration pens. I've never seen anybody else do it. That's part of why I decided to do it because I wanted to do something that was completely unlike things that I had seen done before. Um, a couple of people have ordered zodiac pens, which also include gems and uh, crystals or stones and herbs, along with, if desired, it will have a little like charm on the inside that will say like Cancer or Sagittarius or whatever. A few of those are on their way out the door pretty quick here, actually. Blue dots are also not really a thing. $25. Okay, can I tell you a little hack? This sounds crazy. Crazy, but here's a hack. You have this or something like it. It's the glue that you can use on the canvas. Okay, so you can take this right here. You can pour it out on release paper like I did. And it makes like a booger of stuff. This will also work as a glue dot in your pen. So you can either take your pen like I've done with this pen before, and I will like just take a little bit off. Obviously, you can see I poked the crap out of it and do like a top up. Like if I can't wait for Ghost to set up and all of that because it takes time to dry. So I want to do it on here because I don't want to ruin my thingy, but just grab a little bit off the side there. Just enough to like put on top of whatever Ghost I had there. And then I cover it back up. But it makes like a booger, right? And then you've got a glue dot in the end of your pen. It works just about the same as a glue dot. The only thing is like you're going to have to dirty it just like you would any other glue dot. So either like on your hand or on your shirt. And then it works just like any other glue dot. I love that. I love that. It works perfectly. I figured that out because I I wasn't sure, okay, like what the Ghost was made out of. I was like, maybe it's like liquid latex or something. I thought, okay, maybe it's liquid latex, and um that's why it can dry out or whatever. And I was like, no, that's not it. I thought maybe it was dot stick, but this stuff is like really, really, really liquid, super liquid. And I'm like, not this. And it's thickened, maybe. So I was like, well, I wonder. I put this out on paper like I did with like release paper like I did with this one, and it did not work. It just basically it dried and then dried and dried and became hard. Whereas this, when you dry it, it actually will dry out in the shape or whatever that you pour it out into. So like I just take where's my box? My boxo release, my treasure box. Get my treasure box. Open my treasure box. Boop. No, don't run away. And then I'll grab a release paper out. My cheapy release papers from Art Dot. All right. And then I will cut this in half. Like so. Cut it in half. And actually, let me cover this while I'm at it. There we go. Okay. And then I take my release paper and I pour out some glue dot stick onto it. Like, maybe that much, 3 dots, 3 drops, whatever. And then I'll set this aside and let it dry for like 24 hours. And it'll stay right in that shape, just like that. And then I'll be able to use this. And then I'll just take my other release paper once it's dry and set it on top. And then I just keep it. And I use it to top up my Ghost or whatever. You could, in fact, honestly, put your release paper on top right now. It'll just widen it out. And then just leave that for 24 hours and let it dry. And then you've got a blue dot that you made all by yourself. And it only cost you, I don't know, what is I don't know, one millionth of $6.99. Because that's about what that cost. And I feel like, you know, it would work that way. And honestly, hi Anita. You made it to alive. Woo. And honestly, like I said, I mean it works well. Do I have any ABs in here? Let me see. Come here. Nope, come here. There's nothing to bark at out there, sugar. Stop it. I don't know. Bean saw his reflection. Sorry about that. Hi, Glory. I'm so excited for the new year and diamond painting content and tea. Oh, we all love tea. Everybody loves the tea. Okay, so I do have one AB that I need to lay down, right? So you saw I just put some of that on here. And this is my AB. And I gotta put it down. Oh, hang on. There we go. It was still a little bit sticky. Needed to put a little pants fibers on it or something. But yeah, it works well for ABs. Yep. That's what I do. And it works wonders. Never really had issues. So a little cheap if you want, just to have in a pinch. So tea, huh, Glory? What do you got some? I'm gonna spill some tea. Let me see here. We'll do this color. More like tutorial, but not, or like tutorial, I suppose. So yeah, anyways, that's what I do in a pinch. And you know, I didn't realize that there was a huge difference between the putties. Like I thought, okay, you know, I'm watching this content creator, and this content creator says that this type of putty is really great. And so, you know, I went nuts buying from that company thinking, well, this content creator is very uh knowledgeable and really well known and whatever. And I trusted them, which, you know, isn't isn't to say that they were untrustworthy. It was just I didn't realize how differently they place their diamonds from me. I place really hard. I would consider myself a really hard placer, like aggressively hard placer. And I didn't realize that there would be such a huge difference between the way that I place and the way that they place. And it is a massive difference. And so I ended up spending like, I don't know, probably $30 on putty that was never going to work for me. And ended up the last event that we did, I gave it all away. It was like, well, I'm not going to use it. Somebody should use it if it's going to work for them, or somebody could try it out. Some of it I saved, you know, so that I could give away samples to people or whatever. But it was a bummer to find out like, oh man, I just spent all that money and I can't even use it. But when I found butterfly effect wares, when I found Patsy Putty and Putty Crocker, Joy's Putty, like I didn't know anything about Joy's Putty until the event. And honestly, like I didn't get a hold of Joy's Putty, and she can send samples. If you're not sure whether it's going to work for you, she will send samples out to people so that they can try it. Because she does have some putties that are a little bit stickier than like Putty Crocker or Patsy Putty or Butterfly Effect Wear. She does have some stickier putties. So, you know, if you weren't sure, you could get a hold, like I said, she's on Facebook, and this is her logo, and get a hold of her on Facebook, and she will samples. So if you want to give it a try, you know, just sent you a message on Discord, not in a rush for anything. Just okay, cool. Yeah, sounds great. Diamonds around the world, I gotcha. Uh But yeah, if you want to give it a try, there are some putty companies that will do sample sizes. Either A, they, it's like $1 or something, and they'll charge you for a sample, or it might even be free in some instances where they won't charge you anything. And you can give it a shot and see if it's something that will work for you. Which I think is pretty great because, like I said, I spent a lot of money being wrong because I had never really used a putty before. I didn't know that there was a difference. I was like a baby in the putty world. I was still using the wax because, I thought, yeah, well, the wax works fine for me, no big deal, whatever, until I tried putty and I was like, why was I wasting my time on wax all of this time? And then there's some people who, they've tried every kind of putty out there and they would rather use the wax. Like, hey, whatever works for you, man. You boop de boop. Yay. Booping. Oh, glory. There is tea, but I wouldn't be able to share it with you on a live. Not quite. Not quite. But yeah, all that excuse me, all that said, uh I'd hate for somebody to go and waste a bunch of money on putties that you can't actually use. And so that's why I was like trying to get resourceful with the dot stick, and I was like, I wonder if this would actually work. I was shocked that it did, honestly. I was like not expecting it to work. Uh, let's go with this one. The wax is a struggle. Yeah, yeah. Honestly, well, what I hated with the wax, right, is you're working on your piece and you've got your single placer going, right? And you come to the ABs and you go to place an AB and it steals the wax right out of your freaking pen. Do you know how many times I wanted to pull my damn hair out of my head every time it would steal my wax right directly out of my pen? And then on top of that, like the um the wax, the pink wax leaves a residue on the ABs and it looks like garbage. I'm like, there's got to be a better way. And had not even known about putty until I started watching some YouTube videos and I was like, oh, that's a thing. And then, like I said, there was a YouTube video or a YouTube creator that I was like, well, I trust this person and they say this works great for them. So I'm just gonna go buy a bunch. Because I thought, well, I don't, I wanted to save on shipping, right? Because no, I don't, they weren't outside of the US. I'm not outside of the US, but I figure if I'm gonna have to spend $5 to $10 on shipping this stuff, then I'm gonna get enough to make it worth it. And then yeah, come to find out, I just shouldn't have wasted all of that money. It was the wrong stuff. Wow, y'all just shook the whole ass world over here. People, yeah. Kids went up the stairs and everything just started going, whoa, 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 whoa. Sorry about that. I don't know what they're doing. I think Beans finally made himself busy with his bully stick. Probably for the best. Yeah, he's over there chawing on it. A little chowing on it. It's funny because it gets dark outside, but we have like these lights for the plants on over there. And while those are on, they hear things. They see that, well, Beans sees his reflection and then thinks, I don't know, that there's a dog there. I don't know what he thinks most of the time, to be honest with you. I've been using my tweezers for the ABs. Oh, well, moving fast on that canvas. Yeah, I am a fast placer. This is actually not as fast as I can go. Um, if you watch my year in review, I just put it out today. Um, there is a canvas in there that I finished in 3 days. And it's not like a teeny tiny little, like Timu canvas. It's a decent sized canvas. If I'm not careful, like I have to actually make plans to not finish this one too fast. So, um, yeah, I have to be mindful of what I have left for the remainder of January. Do you use a multi-placer, Crystal? Only putty I use is from DAC's new twist and pick pen for ABs only. I do like the DAC putty. Um, it's serviceable, but now that I have putty from other companies that works better, I don't use the DAC putty as often. It is serviceable, it will work, but I prefer other putty to the DAC putty. That's all. But it is usable. It is definitely usable. I found that it's like the right amount of like dry and sticky. They did an all right job on their putty. Yeah, I found the big difference for me, Crystal, for moving speedily is when I figured out that I could use a multi-placer to do things because I use the multi-placer to multi-place and single place. So instead of like picking up one diamond at a time, I can pick up two or three because I'll put one on this end and one on this end, and then I'm not going back to the tray as often. I have to go. See is in Discord. Okay, see you later on. I love Ghost for the ABs. Oh, it's wonderful for ABs. It is wonderful. Um, and I may hop into Discord for a wee little bit after this. Like while I'm getting ready to go or whatever to go to my in-laws, but I won't be able to stay long because I'll be leaving my house. I use the multi for everything. Yeah, honestly, it's just so much faster to do it that way than to go back to the tray multiple times. And then my favorite is an 8 placer. I don't know if you have a preference on size. Like I I have a 10 placer, but I never use it. I probably could, but I don't know. I've found that the 8 placer is like just the perfect size because like on rounds, especially when you use the thin metal multi-placer from Diamond Art Club, um, I feel like it doesn't space the rounds out enough, and then you end up with like you're having to drag the multi-placer down a little bit so that your rounds match up with the like the spots. And that's a pain in the bootay. Use the 8 placer too. Yeah, 8 placer is definitely my favorite size. Definitely my favorite size. Now, if you use tweezers and stuff like that, like exclusively to place ABs or whatever, like I couldn't. I could not. That would take a level of patience I do not have. I really just don't have. Like my placement is straight. I don't feel like I rush so much that my placement is garbage, but I also feel like I move too quickly to be able to do tweezers and not pull my own hair out of my head and get real agitated real quick. There's one person who is in the Discord, um, and she only tweezers, like only always. Have a great New Year's Eve. Hubby and I are headed out for an early dinner. Ooh, okay. I'm not going out and about, but I will stay safe. I mean, just going to the in-laws. And you have fun with the hubby, but not too much or all the fun. I don't, do what you want. You're an adult. Do all what you want to do. Good fun, clean fun, fun, trampoline fun, whatever you like. Don't forget to hit that like button on your way out, Glory. Bye. Yeah, there was a lot that I figured out this year that I didn't know before. And that's because I wasn't watching YouTube. I was just doing whatever I was doing. And so I single placed basically everything that you see in my year in review video up to about, I think, March or April. That was the first time that I used a multiplacer, was in like March or April of this year. Everything else that you see in there for completions and whatever, it was all done with a single placer. I could not imagine tweezering everything. No. I've seen people who can pick up like 4 and 5 diamonds at a time with tweezers, and I'm like, I'm lucky if I can pick up 2 without it going flick and going everywhere. Too much concentration. Jesus. And then I do that and I throw my pen. Scare the poops out of myself. Just the little poops. Use tweezers for ABs only. I can't, man. I can't do it. I cannot do it. I'd rather use a glue dot or ghost or whatever for the ABs. I can barely pick stuff up with tweezers just to pick stuff up and get it out of my way. Much less like doing it with a purpose. Nah. Failure. I would be a massive failure at that. It might be amusing to watch me fail, but not for me. I would not be amused watching me fail. Somebody else probably would be. Yeah, it was probably a good thing that I finally figured out the multiplacer, that I finally figured out putty instead of wax, because having being a hard placer and then having to deal with the wax with ABs was just too frustrating. It was way too frustrating. So never again. Not if I can help it. I don't think I've touched any pink wax in months and months and months. I've never gone back to it. Blue dots take the AB coating off and putty leaves. Well, so with Ghost, I've never had that issue, Amber. So like if the glue dot is dirty enough, like if you either, touch it to your pants or your shirt or whatever and it picks up those little fibers and makes it less sticky, I've never had it take the coating off of it with my Ghost, which is very much like a glue dot, or it acts like a glue dot anyways. Then there's people who do like the the what you got, the alien putty. I've never tried alien putty. But I know that that is like putty and blue tack or something like that. He like mixes, or maybe it's blue tack and nanotape or something. He mixes things together. I know it has nanotape in it, I think. Don't have an issue with glue dots and ABs, but the residue makes them dull. See, now I haven't had any issue with residue as far as Ghost is concerned, or even using the dots stick like as a backup plan. I've never had any issues with residue. And then with some putties, depending on if it's a dry enough putty, if I start off with my ABs with the dry putty, then I can actually do ABs with putty instead of like having to use Ghost or whatever. But it has to be dry. And then I don't have to deal with residue or anything on that. But again, it has to be dry enough to use. Which is tricky because not all putty places are, like really committed to trying to be really, really dry. And I know some places, like, they'll have a hard placer formula, but like Putty Crocker, for instance, I know her hard placer formula is more expensive because she says that it takes her much longer to make it. I'm not sure what about the process takes her longer or whatever. I haven't tried it yet. But I do know that she does charge more for it. And I'm sure I'll give it a try at some point or another. But I'm just not sure what about it makes it so different. Because I mean, I bought 3 different putties from her during her Christmas sale or whatever. And I'm a hard placer, and I didn't find that the putty didn't work for me or anything. So I don't know. I'm not really sure what the big difference is between the two without owning some. Sorry. That was Bowie. That was Bowie that time. She started that nonsense. I know. Bowie's usually the good one. And then Sugar just keeps it going. I know. These goofy dogs. Goofy, naughty dogs. Naughty dogs. Naughty dogs. Sorry about that, guys. May contain barks. I think the text is that you have. Yeah, kind of. Got your thingy. I got your thingy. If you want it, you got to come over here. Want that? Thought you might. Now go be good. No more barking. Yeah, that sounds about right, Barb. It does seem like a more used glue dot. I still have to dirty it like I would a glue dot anyway, but it doesn't seem quite as sticky. Like it's not like glue dot, you know? Somebody just went, nah, I'm not doing dogs. Yeah, sorry about that. They're usually, well, one, Beans is usually not here because Dustin usually takes a walk. It's going to be interesting later because we're going to the in-laws house and he'll come with us. And he gets he gets anxious when we're over there, and so he'll like lay around crying about stuff. So we'll see how that goes, I guess. He's usually okay for a couple of hours, but this many hours might be stressful for him. We'll see. We shall see. He is kind of a wimpy kitty baby whiner. Good old WKBW. I'm a hard presser and I use Nix. See, now I've not tried Nix's. I'll have to give it a try. Does she do samples, Anita? Get in touch and be like, yo, try your putty. I think that, oh, I already read that. Okay. Already read the comment. Oh yeah, 5:40. I will probably wrap this up in the next like 5 or 10. Just like I said, so I can go and get ready to go to my in-laws' houses. But I don't know what you guys have if you have anything fun planned, but hope whatever you guys decide to do with your New Year's Eve that you are staying safe and having a good time. I don't do the drinky thing, so you don't have to worry about that. Now, granted, that's not to say that some other idiot out there on the road is abstaining from the drinky thing, but we're usually heading back to our house before it gets too terribly late. Like we usually are there until the ball drops and then we take off for home pretty quickly after. So most people that are out at the bar are still doing their like drinky thing by the time that we end up leaving. And there aren't, surprisingly, uh there's, depending on the route that we decide to take home, there's one way that we can take where there actually are not any bars on the way home from my in-laws house, which is hard to do, but it is doable, where you can go a direction and there are not any bars, so we don't have to worry too much about running into like bar traffic or whatever. And then like I said, we're not we get home well before most people are trying to leave for New Year's, so I don't worry too much. We're usually okay. That, and then the police are almost always like blanketed the areas where there are bars, so usually works out okay. No samples. I've tried a lot of other companies' putties and I threw them away, but Nix's stuff is guaranteed. So if you do like it, oh, you know what? I lie. I do have a little sample of her putty. It was a birthday cake one. She gave me a birthday cake one because of the tray that she sent for my birthday. Uh, and it was very, I didn't try it. I have not tried it yet, but it seemed very sticky. And I have not historically had great luck with sticky putties like that. It was in a little birthday cake container thingy. And it seemed very, very sticky. So I was not certain, but I have also not tried it yet. So I don't know one way or the other, but I just know historically I have not tended to have good luck with sticky putties like that. But I will try it before I cast aspersions because I could be totally wrong. Could work fine. Beans, don't start. Couple of sample size creations, Moran putties, if someone would like to try putty that hasn't. That one is one that I have tried, and unfortunately, Creations Moran does not work for me. But if you are a light placer, that might be one that would be worth trying. And that's a Canadian company. If you're looking, there was one. think I said it, but in case I didn't say Creations Moron, they are in Canada. And they have a very active Facebook group, so she's always doing giveaways in there. She's always doing something. Joni's a busy lady. Ooh, rain drenched leaves scent. A little too strong for me. Oh, it is too tacky. It is due to humidity, but put it in the fridge. I mean, I don't know. It wasn't. It didn't seem to be a humidity issue. Just because, I mean, it was contained, right? Like it's in a screw top container. But I can try that. But it was very sticky, like real sticky. Beans, quit barking against the floor, would you? He's got his mouth on the floor and he's like boofing. Sounds ridiculous, for one. But I will give it a shot. Stick it in my fridge. It's raining, so I'm staying in. Might be a good idea. It was snowing here earlier. I don't know if it's still kind of just flurrying a little, but it isn't sticking. It's just basically leaving the roads wet. But any hoozles. Well, whatever it is that you guys decide to do, I am going to finish up this color. I'm almost finished here. And then when I do that, I will sign off for the evening. Hopefully, whatever you guys decide to end up doing with your New Year's Eve, you have some fun. If you're staying in and you've got some time, you might enjoy my year in review video. It's a good thing to just, put on while you're diamond painting and just have playing in the background. You can see some pretty canvases. I have canvases from, I think 13 different companies are featured in that in both whips and in finishes. So if you want to see some whips or finishes from a bunch of different companies, you 100% can see a bunch of whips and finishes from different companies. Otherwise, if you are participating in Mary Morales, there's going to be some more sponsor spotlights coming up. I think this week and then next week. And then, yeah, I will be around, later this evening after I've gotten back from the in-laws. I will more than likely be on the voice chat. I'll have to record my whip and chat like I do on Tuesday nights. And then, afterward, I'll probably be able to hop into the voice chat if people are still awake, from New Year's Eve. But otherwise, you guys, like I said, I hope that you stay safe wherever the heck you're at and whatever you decide to do for the evening. But otherwise, I'm going to go get ready to go and see if I can't go have some fun. Until then, I hope that wherever you are in this great, big, beautiful world, that you are having a phenomenal morning, evening, or afternoon on New Year's Eve, whatever time it is, wherever you are. I'll talk to y'all later, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye. See you later. Behave yourselves.